41% of their misses do they corral, and they had 19 second chance points in that first half.
Well, guys, for Iowa, yes, they're down right now, but Lisa Bluter does such a tremendous job of inspiring and motivating her team. After every practice and every shoot-around, she sits them in a circle, crisscross applesauce all the way around. And today's quote for the team was, "If my mind can conceive it and my heart can believe it, then I can achieve it." She even had them lay on the ground today and visualize the confetti, and they wanted to feel what it would be like when the championship could be won today. So still a lot of basketball in front of them, and it's all mental. The mental toughness piece far supersedes the fatigue of playing 4 games in 4 days.
Yeah, she talked about how important adrenaline is, right, LaChina?
Yeah, she did, and I'll tell you, Lisa Bluter and actually Beth Burns, when she was at San Diego State, are the 2 coaches that I noticed early when I started doing this broadcasting. They do the visualization. It's important. It's just like stretching. It's just like getting extra free throws. Like, they want their players to see themselves having success, and they literally work on the mental aspect of the game every day.
Mimi Collins just hit her second 3 of the game. She's only had 10 all season, but then the response from Clark. One of their goals this year was to find the 3rd player other than those 2 who would score. Nobody really stood out in the first half for them. As far
Good
as
defense
that,
there
up some of that slack.
by Iowa, forcing the turnover.
And Bibby takes it right back.
Positionless basketball, that is the real description of this Maryland offense. When a player like Bibby can pass the way she does, great cut and score for Iowa.
55 today, so the 2 highest scoring halves against Iowa this year, both coming courtesy of the Terps. Iowa can score 2. Caitlin Clark all the way. Clark now with 15, cuts the lead to 16. Owusu, just a little bit of space. Her shot's been off the last couple of games.
But you would give her that shot, right? You're more concerned about her off of the drive. So Marshall goes under that screen. You give that shot to Owusu, but you don't give it to Caitlin Clark, and definitely not in transition where she's starting to feel it. Iowa coming out of the locker room at half behind the freshman Caitlin Clark on the step back. Let's go. Caitlin Clark has got her fire going here in the 3rd. She's a competitor. You knew she was going to come out of the locker room ready to go. 10 points in the first half, 7 in the second half. If she gets a shorter defender on her like a Benzin, she is going to look to score over the top, and we saw that in that last score for Caitlin Clark.
Yeah, 7 points in the first 2 minutes of the 3rd quarter. There's a tie-up, possession arrow in favor of Maryland. Caitlin Clark again, the Big 10 Freshman of the Year, unanimous first-team selection, 21 20-point games and 11 30-point games this season.
Maryland picking up in some pressure. We've seen them do this already in this game. They have a 1-2-2. They'll pick up in some full-court man just to kind of give Clark something to think about, changing up their defenses.
Misfires on that 3. Collins' 3rd 3 of the game. Again, she only had 10 in her first 25 games. Martin missed, but an offensive rebound does not go in, but good work by Warnock to earn the free throws.
And that was a really good pass by Clark as well.
Owusu just picking up her.
And she is one of those players that we...
In the transfer portal, and they have 4 transfers in: Alasia Stiles, Mimi Collins, Katie Benson, and Chloe Bibby, the last 3.
And they're now 20 points ahead. Good 3 for Gabby Marshall.
As I would think in this 3rd quarter, considering how well she played in the first half.
There's a little baseline jumper. Caitlin Clark guarded by Miller, takes her right to the bucket. And a blocking foul has been called on Maryland.
Benzin has been trying to put her body in position to take charges this entire game, and Doesn't quite get there. I actually thought that foul was on Diamond Miller with the body prior to Benzin rotating over.
It was called on Benzin, the second on her, and sends Caitlin Clark to the line. Not bad for the freshman.
Family here. Her husband Mark is here. Marcus and Tyler, her two twin 13-year-old boys, are not here with her, but she also has her brother Jeff and her sisters Deb, Cindy, Grifficial couple. They were at all the sporting events. All of them played sports, but they were right there. And presence means something.
Now they're back in the Big East, and they breezed through that this year. And check that. That was Warnock, pardon me. That was a ponytail obscuring a number. It was number 14, not number 24, Warnock. Clark misses. That won't make her happy.
Offensively and making it to the glass as well.
Clark gets the miss. Yeah, Warnock earlier this year, Coach Bluter just called her their X factor. Wanted to get some more consistency from her.
Christy may have something to say about that.
Yeah, those are some schools.
But Pam, the other conversation to have is Clark gets to score there.
Trying to add another X to this graphic. They have dominated. They've only been in the Big 10, the last 6 years coming into this one, and
just really dominate the way they have. It's been impressive. I mean, it's not easy to come into a conference and have that kind of success.
Clark with the assist with the nice finish by Martin.
Done it. I mean, this is going to be a dangerous team in the NCAA tournament. The way they scored, their toughness, ran out of gas a little bit here, not to take anything away from Maryland, but this is a Hawkeyes team that's going to be a lot of trouble if you run into them in the NCAA tournament.
Another bucket for Martin, and I think that's a great point. Beating Maryland is tough enough, but trying to beat them after you've already played 3 straight days of basketball is just a Herculean task for anybody. And Iowa not nearly as deep as Maryland.
In less than 24-hour turnaround.
Right.
That's what Lisa Bluter was talking to us about today. Less than 24 hours on the turnaround. So there was a lot of ice tubs and short shoot-arounds, trying to do everything they can to keep players fresh. But you could tell, I mean, even Clark and her ability to get open. I mean, she usually fights to get the basketball, but this is a lot of minutes being played by this team over the last 4 days, now 4 days. You want to get into the box score in the championship game, right?
Coach, a lot of emotion for you today. I know your mom is here with your dad, Donna and Bill, but a very special moment, and you are allowed.
The resiliency by these student athletes. I mean, going through COVID, all of the unknowns, and all they did was trust us. They trusted us as a staff. They trusted each other, and you see that with their play. They play the right way. They're so unselfish, and they're for the next person next to them. So I'm just extremely grateful.
Well, you learned from the best with Donna and Bill as your leaders. Thank you for your time and congratulations.
Yeah, thank you, Chrissy.